your Instagram.
Sir.
Okay.
And we are live. And we're live. And we have one viewer. Let's go.
Rich.
We're off to a good start.
Let's
Comment
go,
ça
let's
va,
go.
Maëva? Comment ça va, ma
Yes.
belle? She's so cute.
Wait, she's happy to be live.
Cute.
That was her
Yeah,
dream.
Dis bonjour,
So,
Giordano.
Kids at home, you know, when they're sick,
Je peux pas.
wake you up at 3 a.m. So here she is, not at daycare. She's on the live with us. So yeah, marketing Tuesday. Talking about marketing strategies.
Tuesday.
No, reste ici, Coco. Talking about strategies today. Strategies versus tactics. Coco. Papa est en train de parler, par exemple. Tu peux pas commencer à chanter pendant le live stream.
Elle va parler,
Elle veut faire son,
elle va parler à propos de marketing avec nous.
Ben oui, exact. Tu veux-tu dessiner pendant que papa fait son live stream? Yes? Tiens. Ça taper quelque chose.
All right. Je vais boire mon petit café ici.
So that's pretty much what I was saying last week, you know, to not to use your child.
Yeah, you're exploiting your child for views. Unacceptable.
Yeah, exploiting your child for views. No, but
You're
never
like
saying,
Maëva. You're like Maëva. Reste ici.
No, but my dad would have closed the door and be like, don't bother me. I'm live streaming, you know. And
Yeah, but that's a different world, though. I feel
It's
like
a
that's a
different
different world than today. Now it's like, you know, you have kids. It's like, you know, it's like, come on down. You know,
You want them to get involved. You want them to ask, be curious, be there, observe. You know, I feel like at some point you have to let them in. You need to open that door. You need to unveil on what you do on a daily basis. We think it's so serious. It's not so serious. You think it's that work is so serious. It's not, and they're getting there faster than you think. Like these kids, as soon as they get as soon as they're in school, they're c'est ça, man. C'est la vie qui commence. Puis we're training them for life. You know.
well, let me ask you: are there some times when you're really busy and your kid comes in your office? Are there times where you're like, listen, I don't have time right now? You're like, Maëva, j'ai pas le temps en ce moment. Il faut que tu restes dehors.
Ben oui.
So there's some times where you're too busy, I'm sure. So it's not nothing bad, right? You don't have time to take care of your kid. You're gonna call your wife, right? Your wife's gonna come get your kid or whatever. And then sometimes you're like, you know, come to the live stream.
Yes, so it's been like a month. You haven't seen my kid. Like, most of the time she's at daycare. Today she's sick. But my wife is 39 weeks pregnant. She's pretty much
Anytime now.
Yeah, it's anytime. It's pretty much next week. So so she's obviously downstairs. She's busy and she cannot. She's not gonna run around the kids. So obviously she's gonna stay with me. And yes, she understands, but I also need to understand. Like when she sticks there and she has something to tell me, and she's obviously curious. She's obviously trying to look at what we're doing. She knows what we're doing, but she wants to be there. You know. It's her creative, c'est tentant de venir voir qu'est-ce que papa fait, tu sais? C'est le fun de voir qu'est-ce que papa fait.
She's so cute. Before, when you weren't there, when you were downstairs, I saw her come in the room. I saw her walk in the room. She saw me and she went under the desk.
Ça, c'est drôle. Ça, c'est drôle.
Dude, she's still a little shy, huh? But hey, last time when I was at your house, she wasn't shy. She was warming up to me. And now it's just been so long that she hasn't seen me.
C'est ça qui arrive. Quand ça fait longtemps, les enfants, ils sont gênés un peu. Elle va se dégêner. But yeah. Marketing Tuesday, bro. We have interesting stuff today. I know we switch. Bro, I switched that, huh? But I have that. I have to, bro. We can't just speak about kids the whole time. But kids are good marketing, though. Like
kids are good marketing. Good kids are good marketing.
They are, you know,
that's true.
And they're so relatable. We could relate to kids. I guess it's a good point of entry, right? Like how many ads could you relate to that are kids based or kids related?
But our segment last week, we spoke a lot about kind of when I give the story when we were kids and when we were trying to convince our parents when we were trying to convince our parents to make us sleep at our cousin's house or our friend's house, that's all. That's marketing. It's like,
Yeah.
how are we going to present ourselves in front of our parents? Yeah, let's wait until they start laughing. They're in a good mood, and then
market analysis, right? It's the first steps.
We'll send out the young guy. We'll send out the younger cousin, the one that the parents like the best. It's like public relations.
Le plus cute. Ouais, ouais,
exactly.
on envoie le plus cute. C'est vrai.
So yeah, that was our marketing strategy.
Yeah.
When we were kids.
Or
Since
tactics.
we were kids, we started
Were they
implementing
tactics?
our marketing.
At that time,
tactics.
you could only. We're gonna discuss about that. What's a tactic? What's a strategy? And should you do both? And by the way, is the singing in the back a little disturbing? Should I tell her?
No, it's okay.
It's fine. Okay, Maïva.
I'm okay with it. I don't know if our viewers would care, but for me, it doesn't bother me at all.
Sois plus silencieuse, d'accord? Pendant que tu décides, c'est d'accord? Sinon, on compte la note. Est-ce que tu peux aller décider?
Bro, who cares? Let her sing. Let her sing, bro. Let her sing. If people don't want to hear it, they don't want to hear it.
C'est une expérience scientifique qu'on fait. On va essayer ça aujourd'hui. So yeah, like I feel like people are talking about tactics all the time, and I feel like it's the trend now to have. I put ads on Facebook, and it's my thing. I've had so many results, good results. But people have tactics. People know what to do and where to put it. But do you have a strategy though? Do not spend money forever. Do you have a long game strategy? To me, strategy are long game. Tactics are short term.
The short-term activities, the short-term steps to achieve the longer-term strategy. You need the tactics in the short term, right? Because that's what makes up your strategy in the long term. All the small little tactics add up to your strategy in the long term.
Let me give you
the long term, your
example.
strategy, like, I want to bring my company this way. I want to achieve X output in the long term. Okay, well, how are we going to get there? What are we going to do? We're going to do some promotion. We're going to do radio ads. We're going to do Facebook ads, whatever it is. Those are tactics.
Christmas shopping, targeted ads, then Thanksgiving. For Thanksgiving, we're gonna do the Thanksgiving posters and discounts and this, that. Those are tactics. But what would be your strategy would be the long game, the long run stuff, and how you position yourself in the marketplace.
We got some comments in the chat. We got Francis Desmarchais, Jay Len for president. Thanks, bud. I agree. Want to be my vice president? And then we got Alessandro Guerrera, rob a bank short-term strategy. I love it. But we need more specifics, Alex. We need more specifics. Which bank? Give me more tactics.
But that's interesting. Like,
Instagram is
there would be strategy, but there would be tactics involved. Because you don't know what would happen. What would be your tactic if the cops shows up, like, faster than you thought? What would be the exit tactic? What would happen? Tactics are based on opportunities. They're based on, like, what's happening on the moment. Your strategy is more broad. Your strategy is for the long run. Your strategy would be like, okay, I rob a bank, but what else? What after? Where we're going?
But wait, when does the research take place, Phil? Isn't the research part of the strategy? So we're gonna rob a bank. Okay, what's the best time to rob a bank? Don't we have to go stand in front of I don't know. I'm not talking out of experience here. I'm talking out of movies.
Like I said, a strategy would be more like a strategy. You don't rob a bank and go home, right? You don't rob a bank and go home. You rob a bank, and what's next? What's your after? Like, you need to steal enough to change your life, right? And leave to another country and change your name. Those will be part of the strategy. The tactics would be what gun, what bomb, what smoke bomb, what time. Like, what time. Those are tactics. But the analogy is, if you go back on the marketplace, most people, most of your competitors only have tactics. They only have tactics. They have short-term tactics, and they hire consultants. They pay high fees for short-term tactics. Okay, on va te mettre sur Google
So it's
first
like
place.
so it's like what you told me the other day. It's like when we were talking, we're like, it's like a soldier going into battle with a sword, a shield, but doesn't know where he's going.
That's it.
So he knows. So the tactic is, I'm going to use this sword to stab people, and I'm going to use the shield to protect myself.
That's it.
But I don't know where I'm going.
So that's ancient warfare, and now we modernized, we adapted, and now warfare is all about tactics. It's all about drones and fucking, like, it's all about thinking before sending and losing lives, like sending men comme la chair à canon. C'est plus ça maintenant. It's all about controlling like territories, and it always been about controlling territories, but now they're trying to do it in a way that we're limiting human lives, limiting the loss of human lives. So there's tactics involved, and there's a like a larger, broader strategy top of it. But I don't know a lot about warfare. I can't talk about that. Je sais pas, je connais pas l'armée, comme je peux pas commencer à m'exprimer sur ça. I don't know how it works really. We should invite someone. But
so I feel like to be successful long term, you need both. You need to have both the short term tactics and the long term strategies. Because let's be honest, if you don't know where you're going, are you really going somewhere? You're not going anywhere. You're like on a hamster wheel. You're like, I'm there in battle with my sword, just. But it's like, okay, we're gonna conquer. Then what? So
also,
100%.
C'est sûr qu'à un certain moment donné aussi, tu vas perdre le focus. Let's say your tactic worked. You go with your shield and sword and you conquer. You do it once. It worked once. How do you repeat after? Would you go again? You got lucky there. But you don't know yet because you were like, yay, hey, ouais, j'y vais. Smash and dash. Tu mets de l'argent sur Facebook, tu fais un ad, random piece, trying to create something.
No research.
You get your credit card.
You don't know who you're targeting, and you're just like, yeah, let's go.
Let's go. I've heard Facebook ads are working. Blah.
Yeah.
With no really thoughts involved. Ça se peut que ça marche. Mais comment tu vas faire pour repeat the process on the long run, on the long game? How if you don't have a strategy, it's almost impossible. It's just, you're going to copy paste.
You're right, because like everybody could get lucky. Everybody could just get lucky with one product. Let me launch one product. They just launch some ads. Boom, it explodes. It goes viral.
And then fit in. Dans un moment,
I made all
time
this
frame. People were looking for that product.
Made all these sales, made all this money, and now what? What am I built? Like, what's the long-term plan? Are you planning on building a brand? Do you want to launch more products? Do you want to, like, what's the plan? Do you want to use that to fuel real estate acquisitions? Like, what is it? Same thing with real estate. What's like? I'm in real estate. I love real estate. I like, like right now I'm purchasing real estate in Portugal. And like sometimes I always go back to like, what's my plan here? And I'm always in this like little like dilemma. It's like, okay, I know somewhat my plan is just to acquire and just grow my real estate portfolio. But it's like, how? It's like, what am like sometimes I feel like I'm just running around like a chicken with no head, and I'm just like working hard, right? It's not the issue. The issue is not working hard. The issue is like, where are we going? And how do you decide where are we going? How do you make those decisions?
Super interesting. I have stats for you. In the US, there's 33.2 million businesses. Out of my head, I think those are updated numbers. I don't know if you're like me, but I think you're receiving a call.
Yeah, is my camera lagging? I have to put myself in.
We forgot to put ourselves.
Am I back or what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm getting the call too. Wow, ça c'est des real stuff de la vraie vie, ça, qui se passe dans le live stream. Anyways. But yeah, there's
Yeah,
33.
it's just it's a tough. Sorry, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's 33.2 million businesses in the US. 67 of those businesses are run by one person. 67%. And out of these, well, we cannot say if it's out of these 67%, but 64% of businesses in the US are losing money or breaking even. Those are real statistics. Those are updated statistics. I just checked. So you've got
64% are losing
67% of
money.
solopreneurs. These people are all people who have not find in some sense or in some sort of way a way to like systemize and find a good strategy to market. Like, that's, if you don't have an employee, like, you didn't scale. I don't want to say you suck at scaling, but you didn't try. You didn't scale. You have no employee. You're a solopreneur. This is 67%. This is a workforce. This is huge. If we're talking real numbers, out of 33.2 million businesses.
Yeah, but wait, Phil, everybody's got to start somewhere, right? So how long are these people in that 67% in business before, like,
well, that's a good question. I don't have that info, but you've got all types. You know, there's solopreneurs, there's electricians that have been working alone solo for 30 years, 30 plus years. These guys are not starting. These guys, they've been marketing themselves for 30 years in the yellow pages or whatever, you know, like locally. But things changed. And now your local business is being attacked by the major brands that are, you know, cross, like they're going, like they le marketing est cross country maintenant dans c'est ciblé avec du local, avec sponsored ads, and there's so many media now, like you have to be across all channels. And that requires, like, to me, it was not just think about, it's just not possible to do everything by yourself. You can't just,
it's not possible,
sell and systemize your business operations, taxes, do all, like, just taxes and doing the job is more than enough for one person.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go marketing, but marketing is the most important, like, it's the most important thing. If you don't get known, if nobody knows you, how are you going to get to your next job? Your next job is not going to line up by itself. You need promotion, you need some marketing, and you need some sort of marketing. That's a whole thing. So you either hire, like, now it's, that's how it works. You either hire someone, you make enough money to hire someone to do it for you, but you have no control and no knowledge either on what's happening, what's going on, what's the strategy, and is the strategy good for me? You know, these companies, they could just, tu sais pas, on sait pas, c'est quoi ta
yeah, but
stratégie?
the whole point is to hire somebody who's smarter than you in that area. And why would you want to have control? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to hire somebody who's better than you. You don't want to have control. You want them to have you want to give them the control. You're better than me at this specific task. So here, I'm hiring you to take care of this.
Yes, but I feel like having and knowing how to structure and put up a strategy for your business, for your company, a broader strategy, ça va te permettre après ça de bien magasiner, to really shop around the right consultant that will put in place, or really, I would say, put to life your strategy. And most big companies, that's what they do. They strategize. They think about, okay, how are we good? How are we supposed to position ourselves? You know, we're number 2. They're number 1. Our biggest competitor, they're number 1. What's their weakness? What's their strength? Are we going to use their strength to position, their strength and use it as weakness? Like BMW did with Mercedes in the 90s. BMW, they used the fact that Mercedes were very classy. They were top of the line. They were the best cars in the 90s in all movies, comme je sais pas si tu te souviens, comme. But they were so fuzz on wheels. C'est vraiment des salons roulants. They were indestructible. C'était vraiment des very good vehicles. You still see them around today. I still see 90s Mercedes riding around, especially the diesel one. They were very high quality, but they were not really performance. And BMW jumped on that, and they said, I don't remember the exact line. I don't know if you
But they
remember
both
that.
have their own.
You
They
were young.
both have their own like specific niche. Like BMW is more, like you said, performance. It's more stiff when you're driving the car. It's more for speed. It's more for, I guess,
Yes,
more
more
for the,
sport.
it's a better handling and stuff like that. And Mercedes is more like laid back, I guess, more comfortable drive, more of a classy kind of car. So they're two completely different cars. They're not the same. They're not the same car. So like but for sure they're both out for each other's market share. But at the end of the day, they both have their own distinct features and their own customer base. Hey, did you see that? I told you about that commercial there where since we're talking about like advertising and stuff, there was the I'm sure you guys saw it. It was the commercial on the it was it the director of or the CEO of Mercedes was retiring. He's taking his retirement, and you see him going home in his Mercedes, and he parks the car at home. And he goes in his garage. He gets in his BMW and he just leaves, and it says "Happy Retirement." Golden ad by
But that's
by
pretty much
BMW.
that pretty much pictures it. Like for
They're just kind of like
they were
piggying.
targeting these guys. They were
They're
targeting
like
the
piggying. They're like piggying off each other. They're like using each other. Like even in political, like I don't know if you follow there's the elections that are around the corner. Like you see, like Donald Trump does this to Kamala Harris. He just uses her phrases to let her degrade herself in a way. Like she said something and Donald Trump doesn't say anything. He just lets a clip of her play of her actually speaking in public, and it was something degrading. And then he's like, "I'm Donald Trump and I approve this message." He just basically used, like, how do you explain that?
he repositioned the message. He literally used it and used the momentum of the message to just reposition it. That's a strategy, and that's something that you should use as a small business. I feel like, and that's what we're like. That's what we're trying to talk about. Like most businesses have tactics lined up. Like, oh, why je fais du Facebook ads? That's interesting. That's good. You should do that. But if you have a strategy involved where you're using and you've studied your competitors' strength and weaknesses about their marketing, and you studied their ads, and you position you're trying to position yourself based on that. Let me give you like a quick trick. You're a small business, you're a small family business, you're local. That's a good one. That's an easy one for any small business starting starting their marketing. Some of them are not starting. Some of them they've been there for 30 years, but they just started doing marketings on YouTube or Facebook, whatever, and they're looking for a line. They're looking for a strategy to just start.
But you know what, though, Fel? I will say this, though. I will say that in the beginning, when you don't really know where you're going, it's better to just go and just.
No,
it's better. Like if you don't have a strategy, just start with simple tactics, and it's gonna get the wheels in motion. And you're eventually
here's an easy one. You start if you're small. It's easier for you to communicate with your clients, right? Because you're local, you're there, you're present. Your competitors, they might be une multinationale, une pan-nationale, une compagnie qui est plus grande. It's easy for them to be disconnected. It's easy for them to or for the clients of these companies to feel that la compagnie est déconnectée parce qu'elle n'est pas présente. Une bonne stratégie, c'est d'utiliser leur force. Their strength is being everywhere. They have a big brand, big marketing. You have a small marketing, but you have big heart, or you have tight knitted, tight knitted connection with your client. Yes, we're small, but yes, we're not. Okay, so let's say, I don't know, you're selling, I don't know, could be what? Telemarketing. I don't know. Ça peut être une compagnie télémarketing. You're selling telemarketing to B2B. You're selling B2B services, telemarketing services to B2B clients. You have a team of 4. You have a team of 3, 4 persons. I've seen that. I sent you an ad last week of a team of 2. They did ads. Super interesting.
That was nice.
Do you remember?
We don't know if they're a team of 2. We don't know who's in the back.
They said it. They said, well, it's true. They could lie.
They're for sure other people in part of the team.
They could lie. But they actually said it.
I just think this whole thing, like, it's heavy and it's like overwhelming for some people. Oh, I gotta have a plan. I gotta have this. I think yes, everything you're saying is 100% true. You have to know where you're going. You have to have a strategy. But a lot of people, I feel that they have an issue with just starting because of all this overwhelming stuff that thing that they have to think about before starting their business or whatever. So like, I did drop shipping. Remember I told you I tried it. I'm like, let me try these Facebook ads. You hear everybody talking about Facebook ads, drop shipping. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing, where I was going. But man, I learned so much. I learned how to create ads. I learned how to do graphics, make designs, and all kinds of stuff that are extremely useful for me today. All because, I didn't have a plan, but it's like, it's better to run into the battle with your stick, not knowing where you're going. Maybe that's a life in that situation. Maybe not. But like, it's better to just go for it than just sit back and overanalyze. And then you adjust along the way. Like, I'm sure you didn't start your business like that, thinking you didn't have your whole strategy figured out, where you were going. You just had an idea, like, okay, I want to support my family, right? It always starts like that. I want to support my family. I want to be able to.
Yeah, but like I said, it could be a 30-year-old business. Like, some people are just trying to start.
Yeah, there's different stages. Different stages require.
Like, if you start a business, like that wouldn't starting your business doesn't require you to strategize that much. You're trying to bootstrap it. You're trying to start it, right? Like, it's fine.
It's like us with this podcast, literally.
Yeah, like,
we started a couple weeks ago.
But as you go,
where every day
we're
talking,
thinking, you start strategizing more.
Yeah.
Like, it's human nature to strategize more and to start thinking about, okay, how could I make this better? How could I make this more efficient? How could I make this so I work less and produce more? The key word here is production. Like, this needs to produce for you, right? So at some point, you start. You produce everything by yourself. That's solopreneur. That's hardship for me. Like, you get everything through hardship, by hard sweat and tears. That's fine. But as you scale, as you grow, as you're trying to hiring people and get people involved, you need a team, and getting a team involved, to me, like, and you've been there through thicks and thins of Uninet. You saw it. It's easier when we're on track with the same strategy and we're talking we're on the same page. We're talking the same language. We have the same wording for everything. Puis on s'enligne sur une chose. Parce que de cette façon-là, when you have a strategy in place, yes, it takes time. Yes, you need to sit down. Like, we've been doing that this morning. The whole morning, on a fait une formation hier puis aujourd'hui to plan better. And we've saw it. Like, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. That's what, like,
right, but right now you're at a stage in your business where now you need to plan. Now you need to actually know, okay, which direction are we going? At the
So
beginning, it was all like just like
at what
it's
stage
at
should
the
you
beginning it was cold call, attack, get clients, send out estimations, and
but
that's
there was
okay.
still strategy
But that
though.
was the strategy. That was the
Yes,
strategy. It was just a
there's
numbers game. It was like, let's get our number out there. Let's start sending out pamphlets. Let's do this. Let's do that.
même
But
si
now
ça a
it's
pas
like,
l'air.
and now it's like, okay, I don't want this client. This client is too. It gives me too many headaches. Even though I make money off this client, the headaches, it's not worth it. Drop this client.
Yeah.
And now we start, raising the prices, or look, you get
You start doing the math. You start doing the calculations.
20% with 80% of your clients. Say that again. Give 20% of the
C'est la
headaches.
loi de
What was that
Pareto.
saying?
C'est la loi de Pareto. C'est 20% de tes clients te donnent 80% de tes profits ou de tes maux de tête. It's either that or, but you decide, as a business owner, what.
But at the
what should
beginning, you
enter
couldn't
your
afford
business.
to let. Bro, au début, tu pouvais pas juste laisser des clients comme, j'aime pas cette client, je vais la laisser. Tu pouvais pas faire ça au début parce que tu avais besoin de l'argent. Mais là, tu es plus stable, tu es plus dans une position pour être un peu. You could be a bit more picky. You could say, you know what, I don't want this client. Too many headaches. I want to go after. I want less clients that pay me more.
Mais c'est intéressant qu'est-ce que tu dis parce que dans le fond, check, ce qui arrive aussi avec ça, là, there's a lot of work on, yes, the business, but also on yourself as a person. Business, we tend to forget businesses are constitutive of human beings. We're humans. Okay, so I work in the business. I provide for my employees, for my clients, in a sense that it's also attached to my personality. So when we did work, strategy work, when we sat down not only, okay, on va faire ci, on va faire ça, but we also asked ourselves, who are we? What's our why in this ecosystem, in the marketplace? What's our why? What are we trying to fix in the marketplace? It's all good, like you're cleaning toilets, chill, but as you go, as you learn, as you clean for clients, they tell you their real concerns and their real pain points. And most of the time, it's not about really cleaning toilets. Yes, of course, you need them clean, but once they're clean, sometimes it's the alarm system. It goes off, it costs money, the fireman shows up, it costs them, blah, blah, blah. It's un problème. When they have, sometimes I call it a tiki time bomb alarm system. Sometimes you never know, it just pops. But when you get to specialize yourself in just being like, okay, tu as un système d'alarme, on va apprendre à utiliser bien le système. We're gonna fix that. We fix problems. When you realize as you go how you are oriented. For some companies, it's different. For some, like if you're a grass company, they're offering other services like irrigation, the sprinkle systems.
Mm-hmm.
They offer other stuff like I don't know. It could be the fertilizers. It could be anything. So their marketing and their branding and the way they position themselves will, if it what they sell and how they specialize. Of course, it affects their marketing and their branding and who they affiliate to and which client. But I feel like as soon as you know that, it's a big learning session you need to do. The first, like you said something interesting at the beginning. You said it might feel overwhelming. It is overwhelming. Most of your competitors, we said 67% of US businesses are solopreneurs. For all of these people, I know for a fact, this is my own statistic, but I know for at least 75% of these people, marketing is overwhelming. Just marketing, not only strategy, not only. If you're a solopreneur, marketing in general, just doing ads is something you don't like to do. So I feel by the first step is learning stuff about yourself. Who are you? What do you like? What's your hobby? What do you do on weekends? People relate to that. people actually relate to
Bro,
stuff
people spend
that
their
are
whole
really,
entire life to discover those things about themselves. People spend their whole lives and they still don't know who they are or what they like. It's a never-ending it's a never-ending process. I wouldn't wait to find out who I am to just launch something. I would just try to get the knowledge as soon as possible. Because like I said, when I was doing those ads, those Facebook drop shipping ads, even horrible. It doesn't work today. Everybody's drop shipping. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just saying like it's such a tough, crowded industry. But man, like I had no idea where I was going. The only thing I knew is, man, I want these hustles to work. I want to make more money. I want these hustles to work. And in the process of doing that, you're discovering stuff about yourself while you're just going for it.
yeah, but you need to
While
write it
you're
down. You need to write it down. You need to process it and write it down and make an Excel sheet and create content based on it, because people are going to relate to that, and it's the easiest content you could create because it's based on you. It's you. So
and look,
your
it gives you
social
stuff. It gives
status
you
and stuff like that, they're not you. Okay, so people are tending to market themselves with their like what I'm trying to say is people are trying to market themselves with expensive stuff that are not worth it. People relate to relatable stuff, human stuff. People relate to what you have, like what you tend to have right now. If you don't have money and you don't have resources, you could definitely market yourself and market it as is. Market yourself as you are. Hey, I'm starting up. I'm trying. That's what we did as a podcast. When we started, we're like, hey, no pretension, guys. Like we're just starting. We're we're learners. You know, if you're trying to be and force something that you're not, it's really gonna you're definitely
people are
taking the
gonna
hard
see
path.
that.
Yeah,
People are
you're
gonna see
taking the
that
hard path.
eventually. The
That's
best
why
thing
I'm
is to
not
just be
going too
yourself.
crazy on
And
strategy.
to be honest, it makes me want to continue doing this podcast, knowing that like I don't, and I'm sure people don't have expectations for us to be like this right out the gate, this like number one. You know what I mean? People don't expect that, and you should know that, and it's fine. And
It's all
you
good.
should just keep going and just keep trying to be better and
People
better.
relate to
But
that.
knowing that makes me want to continue. Knowing that makes me not feel the burden like, oh, I have to be this good or something. I have to be
Exactement.
this. There's zero burden. It's
Exactement.
light. It's
I
like, yeah,
know.
bro. It's like I just started this thing and we're just learning and we're on this journey. You guys are watching this journey. And
It's just about assessing, like your strategy at
and there's
the
always
only
gonna
thing.
let's be honest. There's always gonna be haters. There's always gonna be haters, man.
Mais c'est ça que je voulais
Who
dire.
cares?
Really, your strategy at the beginning should just be like, who are you right now? What, like, just do the assessment of what you
I've
have
tried
and
that,
who
Phil.
you are.
I've tried that when I was just working a 9 to 5 job, and my day was waking up, going to work. I tried those self-discovery things. I couldn't
What do you mean
self-discover myself.
self-discovery? What do you mean self-discovery thing?
When you're talking about
Bro,
assessing yourself, what do you
non, mais
like? And
check,
stuff.
c'est pas compliqué comme ça, George. Check, moi je vais te le dire, là. C'est facile as. What are we doing right now? Are we professional expert podcasters?
No.
No. We're learners. We're actually on the process of building a podcast. So we could consider ourselves podcast neophytes. I don't know how to say that. Like the neophyte, like podcast learners or podcast builders or podcast, like say it as you want. But that's an assessment of who you are right now. And people relate to that, not to what you're trying to be or what you're manifesting. Like people, like you said, people see that, they see through that, they see that you're not that. They will see it,
And they'll say it's fake.
It will affect your marketing. It will affect your image. It will affect your credibility. Your marketing should be linked to what you are right now as a human being, because it's the easiest. Actionable stuff, like it's the closest stuff. It's right there. Look, I don't have a crazy background. I have the map of Hydro-Québec that my dad gave me at a TV that hangs on the wall with my strategy vault Facebook thing with the $15 thing.
It's like Buckley's. It's like Buckley's, bro. Buckley's cough syrup. It tastes awful, but it works.
It works.
They're
bro.
not
I'm
trying
out
to give
there.
me some cough syrup that tastes like bubblegum. And let's be honest, we love that.
And so we're actually saying the same thing, but you're doing it like having a strategy. Like you said, start now. Don't bother too much with strategy.
Yes.
I'm about the same thing. So the tactic should be start now, don't wait. That's for us. That's what has been good for us. But the strategy is being also conscient of what you're doing at the same time. So strategizing is all about not doing that a completely different thing tomorrow and rethinking the whole process. It's about systemizing, doing Monday something, Tuesday something, Wednesday something else, and getting those days set up and creating content based on that. That's a strategy. That's long game, long run.
For me, it's like do that, everything you just said, but have good habits. When you wake up in the morning, go to it's like you said, every day learn something new. But like for me, for example, I have my habits. I go to the gym, I do this. Nighttime is when I read a book and I learn something. And my goal for that day is I want to learn something new before I go to bed, so that I can wake up in the morning, I could try it again. And just enough with this, like I need to have everything mapped out. It's such a burden, and it just makes me paralyzed, makes me like not want to do anything. And as soon as I remove that like I have to be like a certain place right now, I took that out of my head, and I'm like, man, it's okay that I am where I am right now, as long as that I'm working and just taking one step forward at a time. And now I'm happy with that. But now I'm mad at myself when I don't take that step, when I miss the gym, for example, when I miss that reading session, and then I'm pissed at myself.
So
yeah. No, sorry, I didn't want to cut you off. I was just going to tell you 41 minutes. I don't know if
I was about to say the same thing. Yeah, 41 minutes.
Yeah.
We have to go back. But it was interesting, bro. As always.
Yeah. Always nice talking to you, Phil. Always a pleasure, bro.
Appreciate
you, man. Yes, sir.
Podcast.
Ciao, guys.
Sir. Ciao, bro. Take it easy. Ciao.
Are you going to click it?